Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And today we are back in the basement, and the goal is to get some self level and finish the self level. I don't have self level in hand yet, but that doesn't mean I don't have to prep the floor. If you saw my last video, I mentioned that I wasn't able to do the self level in the room because there is a shortage of the self level that I use. Now, I still haven't found out. I have like another 2 or 3 days to pour this floor because I gotta move forward with this project. I gotta get the videos out to you guys, and I want to be able to start getting this place taped and doing some fine details, some finished details, like taping, painting, and starting to install cabinets in here, because that's when the videos are gonna get very interesting in my opinion. I have some backup self-level bags, so if I'm not able to get the ones that I've been using for the whole floor, I am just gonna use those bags. But either way, I have to prep this floor. Either way, I have to put the primer on the floor. I need to prep around the door, which you guys are gonna see. And actually, you know what? Let me just show you. So I'm going to be priming the floor, cutting the paper back and putting blue tape, because I am gonna be installing this shim right there, as you can see. And then over here, I am going to be cutting this door frame above like so. The last thing I need is a door frame that is not going to be used on the finished product, interfering with the floor. So we're going to be notching this out on both sides and then prepping this floor, just putting the tape. I'm not going to put these shims just yet, because I want to have the self level and everything ready, because those things are very sensitive. So if you step on it, it's gonna break, and I don't have enough. So let's start with cutting this paper back and all the dust, and then we'll vacuum and put the primer. All the floor prep is done. The floor has been primed. We have the spacers in, which is just styrofoam, 1/8 of an inch in an L shape. So we have that in. We have it also at the entrance, and we're ready to pour. It's no different from how we did the rest of the floor. It's just mixing, pouring, and don't touch it. Because in my first pour, I poured it and then touched it, and it came out messed up. So we're gonna learn from our lessons and not touch this pour like we did the third pour. So we're gonna pour it, not touch it, let it be, let it harden, and then we're gonna do the following steps. I ended up not finding the self level that I needed, like the rest of the floor, so we're gonna be using a completely different self level, and let's see what the color is gonna come out like. I was thinking to myself, if it comes out lighter, I don't have a problem with that, but if it comes out darker, I'm not gonna be very happy about that. But it is what it is. This is the floor we have. This is the self level we have. We got to move forward with this project, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be keeping the camera in one spot, which is right here next to the laser, and facing that way. Just how the rest of the video has been recorded. So you're going to be seeing a glimpse of me mixing over there, and then pouring the stuff over here. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. I'm excited to get this done. So let's start mixing and pouring this self level. the floor's done. It took a lot of work. I'm hot, I'm sweaty, and this room finally has a floor. It's not what I wanted in the end of the day, but the floor is done. Let me show you what happened on this area of the floor that I'm not happy with. Let me show you the area that I am happy with. I like this side. This area is good. There's nothing wrong with this area. This area is the same as that area. Just the color is a bit different. The height is good all throughout in this area. There's a little bit of bump here, but it's pretty good. There's no complaints there. The corner meshed up good. When we go moving this way, and I think you guys saw it in the other videos, you see these drops that are here? That is my sweat. I sweat so much doing this. When I poured this side, it started curing. So this was heating up a lot. I started cooking over here and I started sweating. And those drips are all my sweat. So my discharge, the discharge of my body through sweat will always be part of this concrete because of that. I don't think that's gonna come off, and it is what it is. But the edge came out pretty good over here. I really messed up on this area. So this area over here, I made a mistake of pouring too much, and this is higher than the tile, so nothing I could do about that. I sanded the edge so it's not a sharp edge, but I can't do anything about it. So this is what it is, and this is what it's going to be for now on. I can chop this tile up and make it into an angle like I did upstairs, but it is what it is. We're just gonna keep it the way it is, and that's it. So the only thing that I didn't like are the drops. Like I said earlier in the video, I might have a problem with the color, and I think the color is okay. It's a little bit darker, but it is what it is. But everything is good. It's fine. I accept it for what it is. What I'm going to do next is, like I did in the other videos, is mop it twice and then put 2 coats of sealer, and this floor will be done. Once I do those 2 steps, I'm gonna speak about the floor and come up with a conclusion and tell you guys if it's something I recommend you guys do. So let's finish this floor so I could do that. So the self level is done. I mopped it, I sealed it, and it's all ready to be walked on. And let me give you a review. As you can see, this area is how I like it. It's a little bit shinier, I think, than this area. So that is something I don't like. Also, remember my sweat? It's all there and it's embedded, and it's not gonna be coming off maybe ever. But it is what it is. The self level is done. It was done in 4 different areas. So this is 1, that's 2, 3, and then 4. That's why you see a joint here where all of them join together. So this is done. I really did not like this self level. It's darker. It ended up with, you can see it, it ended up with like bumps and stuff. That might be air pockets, and that might be my fault for not mixing it long enough. But this is where we at. It's done, and I'm just glad we get to move on and be done with this. Now that we have officially finished the floor, that's not 100% because there's one more thing that I have to do, which I'm gonna be doing in the next video, and I'll show you what that is in the end of this video. But the floor is pretty much officially done. Anything that has to do with mixing concrete or self-level, it's officially done. Everything is down, and now I could walk on this floor and say this is officially the finished product. I'm kind of happy, like once I poured this and it was cured, being able to walk around the whole entire floor and not worry about one level being higher than the other, is a different feeling after what has it been, like 3 or 4, maybe 6 months of walking around on a floor that was uneven. But that's what it takes when you're under construction. So now, do I recommend doing what I did? Absolutely not. If you're gonna be self-leveling, get everything out of your space and self-level the whole entire area in one shot. This came out pretty bad. It's not what I wanted. It's not what I was expecting. Nothing is uniform. Everything is how it is. It was made in 4 different parts, so you could clearly see that it was made at different times. So that kind of sucks about it, but I thought that this was my only option. If you can't take everything out of the room, I recommend at least doing half and half. Don't do quarters. So instead of doing 4 sections, do 2 sections. Don't do what I did, because there's a lot of things that could go wrong. A lot of uneven, just things that are in the way. You're walking over things. It's not worth doing it like that. I recommend you do as minimal parts as possible. So if you can't get everything out of the room, at a minimum, do half of a room at a time, because it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. So it is what it is. It was an experiment for YouTube. So I hope you guys enjoyed this journey. This journey, as far as the floor, is almost done, because in the next video, we have to address these edges. Where those lines are, I don't want dirt to be packed in there. I don't want bugs to get in there. I don't want water to get in there. So I'm going to have to fill that in. And I was going to use some like rubber, caulk that is made for concrete for the outside, but that stuff shrinks and expands and it like grows cracks over time, and this is something I just want to put down and never worry about again. I don't want to deal with this floor anymore. So what I decided to do, and let me show you, is put epoxy in the edges. Oh, and so you know what I'm talking about is in these lines. I'm gonna be putting epoxy inside of these lines. So I bought, I hope is enough epoxy, and I bought these syringes so I'm able to get deep inside those crevices. So, and I have this to mix it. I bought a couple more just in case I have to do a couple different mixes, but as soon as we do that in the next video, the floor will be officially done. So that's gonna be it for this video, and I hope all of you guys learned something from my experience of doing this floor the way I did it. Learn from it and know not to do it. And if you are gonna do it, these might be the results. Maybe somebody out there is better than me at mixing self-level, but maybe they have help or whatever. So if you learned something new, give me a like. If you have any comments or questions, leave it in the comments down below. And if you want to see the rest of this project done, you want to see the next video, which is epoxy, consider subscribing. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Thanks.